Hello everyone, this is Sztygrys, and this is the game from the F group. The black player is Crispy and white player is bavalance. Very interesting game with some very hard to judge positions and with some twist because the one of the player is has a much bigger ranking and he was the one who lost, so there was some surprise. Uh, Here it's still Joseki, the most efficient answer, the most common would be this one. But this is a difficult answer because after this, there probably will be the a big avalanche Joseki, which is very complicated. So if we don't want to play this, we can just connect as white did in the game. It is all right. Black will go extend. We play this. This is also a Joseki and one push is also a Joseki. Here black jumps in the Joseki. And this is the move I don't really understand because after this, there is an annoying cut here that I never know how to handle this. Because after this, if this there is the cut, and the cut is, I don't think it is working right now, but in the future it is annoying. But this is the Joseki, and now we can play away. In the game, black extended, which is not that bad, but still white can play away, and it's all right. It's kind of a Joseki, and white did very nicely. Here, black play this Joseki, and we want to create something on the left side because we have some really nice influence. We want to create some big Moyo, so I can understand the move and why it was played. This is some normal sequence. Nowadays, this move is more common, and then this sequence will happen. It is all right. We can see that there is a way for white to come into the Moyo of black in the future, so it is not that easy to create territory there. But the sequence from the game is also right. More importantly, now we have a way to go into the lower side. This move is very interesting. And after this, we can cut here. So usually black will play here, and in the future we can just crawl into the territory if black will want to create something on the lower right. So it is harder for black to create territory on the lower right. Let's just say, maybe after this exchange, so it would be easier, what happens here. Most importantly, if black will capture the stone, we can just play like this and go into the and cut the black stones, and still black needs to be careful about his group, so usually it is not good. It will be hard to create something bigger on the lower side then. In the game, white invaded here and created the Nikan Biraki shape, which is alright. Like, we want for black influence, for black walls to be not that useful here and here. And but I would like to say that although it looks bad for black because it looked like black wanted to create something on the left side and now there is no real territory there, it is not so bad. The power, the strength will still be useful. We can, in the future, maybe we can attack these stones, or even if not attack, then lean on them. Like, there are moves that will allow us to get some strength, or we can surround it from the above and we still get some strength to the center. So it will be useful if we want to create the Moyo and maybe make territory somewhere else. It is not that easy for white to create a living shape, so black will get a lot of center moves around it if he wants to. And in some instances, if black will get a lot of stones, like a lot of strength, for example, like this, then we can even try to kill it. So white needs to be careful, and there are ways for black to exploit the shape still. We will see it maybe a bit later. For now, black will play here because it is very natural that we will want to develop the Moyo on the upper side. If we manage it, then these moves that I was talking about, the center moves that we can get, will be very useful. And white answers. And black played the strange move. If we want to create something, usually we play this way on the fourth line, like this or this. Maybe black was afraid that white will just come in. And the solution would be to just make a turn at once. This is a very big move, and we will get a bit lower on the right side. But we can just jump and try to create something anyway. It is still all right for black. It is still all right. After this cut, there are some cuttings, but the cuttings are not that bad because when white cuts, we just capture the stone, and even though the ladder works, I think it works, there are some edges here. We can just create a cut like this. So there are problems with white shape. And if white would cut on the other side, still we capture the stone and we are satisfied because we got Ponnuki outside and we can develop the upper side. So still we are fine. This is not the most common way to play here, but it is possible. The other way would be here, but we are really low and white will get the influence. Anyway, black played here. A strange move, because it does not have that much potential if we want to create something on the upper side. White plays some other move in the other corner. This is all big. But the f17 now is even bigger. We should play it immediately. Here black played it, and it was a good move. As we said, the lower side is not that interesting yet because there is always a way to go into that. So I understand why white played on the upper side, which is the most interesting. We should always have in mind those moves, like many moves that black can get in center. So the upper side will be bigger. And we try to make it smaller by expanding also our right side. Here I was thinking about the move here to make it even more flat on the upper side. In the game, white played here, and it was actually a bit better. This is a common shape. Here, black would have to play like this, something like this, and black will still get to turn. So he will be able to create something on the upper side. In the game, black also goes up and is able to create by the shape, but the shape for white is a bit better. Then we play the E11 move to reduce the upper side. It is no normal move, normal shape to go up from the Nikan-Biraki shape. We just jump. Usually we jump further away from the strength, so we would jump from the other side. But it is alright. It is alright still. And now black, after these exchanges that are not natural, black tries to do something about it. And the beginning is good. This is the way to harass the shape, to play this peep. That is not that easy to answer. In the game, white connected. This is all right. And after this, now it is not that easy to play. The computers would suggest something like this, which looks a bit good for white because white captures the two stones, but still white does not have the two eyes, so maybe there is some possibility to harass. Like for example, here we can play the peep and harass a bit, and already got some points here, so maybe it's all right. In the game, black tried to connect, and this is very complicated, and the shape of black is really bad, but maybe it is possible to play. but we need to be very careful. Now white goes this, and the correct move would be to play the hane, because if we play the hane and white will block, either white will connect here and we will go out here, or if white play here, then we can capture the stone and we go into the side, and we are all right. White will not have the eyes. White can get some maybe squeeze, but not really. Anyway, white will have to run to the center and live there. It will be difficult to harass the group, but probably black would get something from it. In the game, black played here, and this is very risky. For example, white will play here, and the black group is not really dead yet, but it is very hard to rescue it. For example, black would have to play like this, I think, and connect somehow on the side. On the side, I'm sorry. If white tries to play like this, there is this idea, and then we can cut, and there is a ladder. So there was some possibility for black to leave, but if black would have to leave like this to connect, and white will get all those moves on the side and get to come back, then like this, or like, oh no, like this. How was it? Oh, here, like this, and black will need to add the move. It's all right for white. It's all right for white. White is fine. Actually, this move was also not the best because it does not capture black. I think this was the recommended move, but it is very hard to choose between those two. Here it looks like black is just captured, and now it will be captured because black played it in the wrong order. Like we should have started with this move that looks really strange. Here black played here and tried to rescue, but was not successful. White very careful, was very careful and did not capture the stone because now the two stones will be captured, or black will break through. So here white had to come back, and we managed to capture some stones. It was good for white for sure, but black also got some compensation, and this compensation was with the move b3 and the continuation with a2. It looks like black can be cut, but it's no problem. Black can just connect, and there is some crazy ko here that white can play. That is very dangerous. But we can just don't care about the ko and kill. I'm not sure. Very complicated position. Anyway, white just came back, and this was not a really great move because now, after h2, white can play here as he wanted and try to leave. For example, like this, and try to leave. But black chose to play the ko, and this ko is good for black because this is a ko about the to kill the whole corner. So black can get a lot of compensation. To play, we could have played this earlier. Now black will start the ko like this probably, and we have some more local threats. It will be much easier to play this ko. This was the exchange that we should play. If we manage to do this, then we can just leave like this. And there is no way to, for example, here, there is this sequence here, and we can just leave. So white is safe. In the game, it was not possible to play this. Black played the ko, and this ko is a bit hard for white. We have some threads, but black also have some threads. For example, this thread. Here we could have just, for black, we can just ignore because the whole corner is dead and it's all right for black. Black decided to answer, which was not really necessary. It is big, but the corner is bigger. And now it is hard to find the cofre. There is one cofre, which is very big, but only one. After this, we more or less need to ignore all of the cofrets, and white still have the big cofret. Like, for example, we can even play it here as a cofret, and white will go into the center and leave somehow. So so it was better for black to end the call earlier. In the game, black played this cofret, and it is not so big. White just captured the stone. He lived with a lot of points, and still he will live in the upper left corner. After this sequence, white is alive. We could have tried to play for more points, but it is a bit dangerous. So I get why white was more careful. White wanted to just leave. And we lived. Not a lot of points, but we are alive, and this is important. Still, game is quite close, and black is trying to get a lot of points on the lower side. This is the move. Probably it was better to play a little bit more safely, because after the move like this, there is a lot of space, and white can just come into the space. White does not have any weak groups. Like, this is not a weak group, and this is certainly not a weak group. So we can just come in and reduce very efficiently. In the game, white played here, and this is a very, very common trap. The shape where we think that if we get this, we have a great exchange, and generally this will spoil the shape of black group. And we really want to play the move like this very often. If there is a position, we always think, oh, this is a great move because it spoils the shape. But we need to be extra careful, especially if you, as me, was learning Go from the Kageyama, Toshiro Kageyama, and his book about the fundamentals of Go. He stresses this very strongly, that this move is very important. But we really need to be careful with this move, because very often black can either ignore or answer in the way that is active, that is not like passive, like this. And if black can either ignore or play actively here, then it is not a good move. For example, here black could have just tenuki. We can just play here. This cat is not really that important. Black is not alive, but black will just get out. And this fight is not for black at all. For example, like this, we go out, and white is the one having the problem, like this. So the cat is very not interesting. And if we play a move like this, we should make sure that the cat is a threat, a real threat, and the black has no way to play actively. Here, even if we play like this, and after this we just ignore, because the cat is not working now. Like, we can just play here, and if white plays here, we cut. So there is no threat, no threat there. So it would be great if black answers here, but if black does not answer that, then it will be bad for white. It will be gote. In the game, it was like this: black played here, and cut, and now there is no cut at the 15, so black would have to play away. And fortunately for white saw that and played away. So there are some exchanges; those are probably bad for white, but at least we did not lose center there. So a small success. Now, we should make a decision here. Like, black has the Moyo on the lower side, And there are two ways to play. Either we develop our side and try to reduce it a bit, like play on the border of the Moyos, on the border, or we try to invade or reduce. Maybe reduce is a best word. And we should make a decision now, because those options are opposite. Like we can't do them both. Either we do one or the other. So if we want to reduce, we should play here immediately and try to rescue the stone and maybe take away a chunk of the Moyo. But if we want to create our side, then we should continue, because this move needs a continuation. And after something like this, like maybe here, if we think this is enough, we can play like this. But this is another option. And in the game, white tried first, we made an exchange, like we want to create on the right side, and then we want to reduce. But already this exchange helps black a bit in the reduction. So there is no need to make it. There is no need. Here we want to go from this side. I think the going from this side, that is the widest, is more important. But I try to go from this side. And in the end, we did not manage to reduce it that much. Now black is safe, and also we gave a lot of strength to black, so I don't think it was successful. Now it is hard to go in. And I think white also thought that it is hard to go in and decided to develop the right side just like this. Probably reasonable. Also, now we try to use some edges here. It is very risky, but we will see how it go. We get the stone in the corner, and black plays here. But I think even if blacks just add a move, it would be alright for black. We got the corner more or less in center, but now we have to add a move here, and I think it was not that good for white anyway. Black was a bit more greedy, and then even more greedy. He played on the upper side, but there are still edges, and we will see these edges soon, like this. Very greedy way for play to play for black. He wanted to risk a lot, and now there are problems. And now white plays those moves that exploit the problems. And actually, I think black was fine here. After here, this does not work. I don't believe, because we can play the ladder here or here. So I think black should be fine. Like we can make some squeeze, but it is not that strong, because white is still dead in the center. So I think black got afraid, and he should not have get afraid. Like here, we gave up some stones, and this is very big for white. We captured the stones, and still we have the way to come in to the Moyo. Black added the move, and the still game is very close. But white managed to go into here, and now we can either rescue these stones or go here. So it will be hard for black to get enough. In the game, black tried to separate, but it was a bit too optimistic. After this sequence, if black just connects like he was supposed to, then white will have possibility to live in the corner, so white will be alright. Black tried to kill white stones, and then we can have this ko. But this ko is not that difficult for white, because we have a lot of local ko threats. Regarding connecting, we can threat to connect, or to live in the corner. Those are all good. And white just did the threads, and after this we can just ignore. This is a very big, because now we capture also these stones, so the core was very big, and this was a very safe and good way to play. White get a lot of territory, we lose something, but we can exactly count how much territory we lost, because we lost like 10 points, and also black gained like 6, so it's more or less 16. And on this board, it is enough for white to win. It looks like it is enough for white to win now. We need to take care of the group, but as we can see, it will be taken care of. Yeah, white is connected, and black tries to get the territory on the upper side. But in the end, white even managed to connect these stones. So now white is very ahead. Like, there is a lot of advantage to white. The game continued, but the game is more or less hopeless. I think white got a bit nervous in the end and made some mistakes. But for example, here, black, we went into the Moyo here, but we lost really a lot on the side. Yes, this is all center for black, and then black came back and cut us, so it was not really great. Yeah, we got those 2 stones, but it was not that important, not that many points. But still, white is winning so much that it will be enough. There were some other mistakes, but they did not change the result. A long game, a long review, so we will have to recap to make some summary of it. Very complicated game. It was very hard for me to judge some situations. Anyway, here this is a Joseki. The jump here is the real Joseki, but the extension is also alright. Here the other way is to play like this. You can choose it, and if you play like the white in the game, then you should remember that in the future you can play here and go into the lower side in the future, and it is not good to do it now, because you are crawling on the second line and black gets a good influence. Here, this is a good shape to create something from the Komoku shape. I was thinking about this one, but it is not really better, so this was alright. Here, this is also very complicated, but you should remember that if the opponent has this bad shape, usually white will get, even if it looks like white is cut, and maybe white can cut, but anyway, white will get a good shape somehow. This was complicated. Here, if your opponent has 2 ways of answering that are possible, it is usually good to ask him which way do you want to go, and then according to the answer play further. If black plays here now, then we can leave with this move, for example, or even we can play here as we wanted, but we can leave like this. And if he play the ko, then we start the ko, and we have more ko threats, so it would be better done in the game. An important thing. This is important. When we want to spoil the shape, we always see a situation like this and we think this is a good place to play, and we often play it. But before we play it, we should always consider if it is center at all. If our opponent has to answer here, black does not have to answer, and also if black can play in the active way that he will maybe get sent, like here. If we, for example, play here, then black does not have to play there at all for sure, because cat is not working, so we lose the center. So if we lose the center with this move, then it will not be good. We need to be sure that the cat is a real threat, and our opponent does not have the way to play it actively. And maybe the last thing to say, if our opponent has the Moyo and we have two options, going in or taking the border, then we should choose one of these options. Like here, I think white could have just go in, but we need to do this immediately after we make the exchanges here and there, and then it is too late. It is too late to go in. There were some edges that were a bit lucky for white, because I think black could have just don't care about it. Like here, we just capture, and black could have captured and connect, and I think black is fine. But black miscalculated, and now it is very hard for black. White just managed to take a lot of territory, and on the right side, and black has not enough. Okay, that's all. Thank you all for listening, and good luck in your games. I hope there will be more games that are long and complicated and fun. See ya.